Hi, I'm Karen McFeeters, the director of the library, and today I'm going to share one of my favorite books with you. I chose this book because I like books where kids save the world, like Harry Potter, for example. So this book is called Maximum Ride. It's by James Patterson, and it is about a girl that has wings. So I also like books that have a warning on the first page, and this one does. It says, "Warning, if you dare to read this story, you become part of the experiment." I know that sounds a little mysterious, but it's all I can say right now. Max. So the name of the book, there's a series, and they all start with Maximum Ride. The first one is The Angel Experiment. So I'm going to share with you the prologue of that book. And boy, this is not as easy as using a bookmark. Let me get to the right place. Okay, so the prologue of the book is as follows. Congratulations. The fact that you're reading this means that you've taken one giant step closer to surviving till your next birthday. Yes, you. Standing there leafing through these pages. Do not put this book down. I'm dead serious. Your life could depend on it. This is my story, the story of my family, but it could just as easily be your story too. We're all in this together. Trust me on that. I've never done anything like this, so I'm just going to jump in and you try to keep up. Okay, I'm Max. I'm 14. I live with my family, who are 5 kids, not related to me by blood, but totally still my family. Well, we're kind of amazing. Not to sound too full of myself, but we're nothing like anything you've ever seen before. Basically, we're pretty cool, nice, smart, but not average in any way. The 6 of us, me, Fang, Iggy, Nudge, the Gas Man, and Angel, were made on purpose by the sickest, most horrible scientists you could possibly imagine. They created us as an experiment where we ended up only 98% human. The other 2% has had a big impact, let me tell you. We grew up in a science lab/prison called The School, in cages like lab rats. It's pretty amazing that we can think or speak at all, but we can, and we can do so much more. There was one other part of the school experiment that made it past infancy. Part human, part wolf, all predator. They're called erasers. They're tough, smart, and hard to control. They look human when they want to. They are also capable of morphing into wolfmen, complete with fur, fangs, and claws. The school uses them as guards, police, and executioners. To them, we're 6 moving targets. Prey smart enough to be a fun challenge. Basically, they want to rip our throats out and make sure the world never finds out about us. But I'm not lying down just yet. I'm telling you, right? This story could be about you or your children. If not today, then soon. So please take this seriously. I'm risking everything that matters by telling you, but you need to know. Keep reading and don't let anyone stop you. Max and my family, Fang, Iggy, Nudge, the Gasman, and Angel, welcome to our nightmare. So I'm going to skip forward a little bit. One thing that happens the very first chapter is Max has a nightmare about being caught by the erasers, and she wakes up. And, she feels responsible for these kids that are part of her flock. So I'm going to start in the second chapter and share that with you. I jolted upright in bed, gasping, my hand over my heart. I couldn't help checking my nightgown. No red laser dot, no bullet holes. I fell back onto my bed, leap with relief. Geez, I hate that dream. It's always the same. Running away from the school, being chased by erasers and dogs, me falling off of a cliff, then suddenly, whoosh, wings, flying, escaping. I always woke up feeling a second away from death. Note to self, give subconscious a pep talk regarding better dreams. It was chilly, but I forced myself out of my cozy bed. I threw on clean sweats, amazingly, Nudge had put the laundry away. Everyone else was still asleep. I could have a few minutes of peace and quiet and get a jump on the day. I glanced out the hall windows on the way to the kitchen. I love the view. The morning sunlight breaking over the crest of the mountains, the clear sky, the deep shadows, the fact that I could see no sign of any other people. We were high on a mountain, safe, just me and my family. Our house was shaped like a letter E turned on its side. The bars of the E were cantilevered on stilts out over a steep canyon. So if I looked out a window, I felt like I was floating. On a cool scale from 1 to 10, this house was an easy 15. Here my family and I could be ourselves. Here we could live free, and I mean literally free, as in not in cages. Long story, but more on that later. And of course, here's the best part. No grown-ups. When we first moved here, Jeb Batchelder had taken care of us like a dad. He'd saved us. None of us had parents, but Jeb had come as close as possible. 2 years ago, he disappeared. I knew he was dead. We all did, but we just didn't talk about it. Now we were on our own. Yep, no one telling us what to do, what to eat, when to go to bed. Well, except for me, I'm the oldest, so I try to keep things running as best I can. It's a hard, thankless job, but someone has to do it. We don't go to school either, so thank God for the internet, because otherwise we would know nothing. But no schools, no doctors, no social workers knocking on our door. It's simple. If no one knows about us, we stay alive. I was rustling around for food in the kitchen when I heard sleepy shuffling behind me. Morning, Max. Chapter 3. Morning, Gazi, I said as the heavy-lidded 8-year-old slumped at the table. I rubbed his back and dropped a kiss on his head. He'd been the gas man ever since he was a baby. What can I say? That child has something funky with his digestive system. A word to the wise, stay upwind. The gas man blinked up at me, his gorgeous blue eyes round and trusting. What's for breakfast, he asked, sitting up. His fine blonde hair stuck up all over his head, reminding me of the fledgling's downy feathers. It's a surprise, I said, since I had no idea. I'll pour juice, the gas man offered, and my heart swelled. He was a sweet, sweet kid, and so was his little sister. He and 6-year-old Angel were the only blood siblings among us, but we were all one family anyway. Soon Iggy, tall and pale, slouched into the kitchen. Eyes closed, he fell onto our beat-up couch with perfect aim. The only time he has trouble being blind is when one of us forgets and moves the furniture around or something. Hey, Ig. Rise and shine, I said. Bite me, he mumbled. Fine, I said, miss breakfast. I was looking in the fridge with naive hope. Maybe the food fairies had come. When the back of my neck prickled, I straightened quickly and I turned around. Will you quit that, I said. Fang always appeared silently like that, out of nowhere, like a dark shadow come to life. He regarded me calmly, dressed and alert. His dark, overlong hair was brushed back. He was 4 months younger than me, but already 4 inches taller. Quit what, he said. Breathing? I rolled my eyes. You know what. With a grunt, Iggy staggered upright. I'll make eggs, he said. I guess if I were more of a fembot, it would bother me that a blind guy 6 months younger than I could cook breakfast better than I could. But I'm not, so I didn't. I surveyed the kitchen. Breakfast was well underway. Fang, you set the table. I'll go get Nudge and Angel. The 2 girls shared the last small bedroom. I pushed the door open to find 11-year-old Nudge asleep, tangled up in her covers. She was barely recognizable with her mouth shut, I thought wryly. When she was awake, we called it the Nudge Channel. All Nudge, all the time. Hey, sweetie, up and at 'em, I said, gently shaking her shoulder. Breakfast in 10. Nudge blinked, her brown eyes struggling to focus on me. she mumbled. Another day. I said, get up and face it. Groaning, Nudge levered herself into a crumpled but technically upright position. Across the room, a thin curtain concealed one corner. Angel always liked small, cozy spaces. Her bed, tucked behind the curtain, was like a nest, full of stuffed animals, books, and most of her clothes. I smiled and pulled the curtain back. Hey, you're already dressed, I said, leaning over to hug her. Hi, Max, Angel said, tugging her blonde curls out of her collar. Can you do my buttons? Yep. I turned her around and started doing her up. I never told the others, but I just loved Angel. Maybe because I'd been taking care of her practically since she was a baby, and maybe because she was just so incredibly sweet and loving herself. Maybe because I'm like your little girl, said Angel, turning around to look at me. But don't worry, Max. I won't ever tell anybody. Besides, I love you the best, too. She threw her skinny arms around my neck and planted a somewhat sticky kiss on my cheek. I hugged her back hard. Oh, yeah. That's another special thing about Angel. She can read minds. So now you've met our main characters. They are runaways, and they're hiding from people who want to catch them and exterminate them. So their adventure continues. It's actually a series, which is a fun way to read books. You get to find out what really, really happens in the end. Right now, we only have 3 of them in the library that haven't been checked out, and Hawk is the latest in the series, and that just came out a couple of weeks ago. So you can also read the books in downloadable form, which is what I had to do to check out the book. And gosh, let us know if you decide to read about Maximum Ride. Let us know how you like the book, if you like her. I think they tried to get a movie done, or there are lots of sites about Maximum Ride, but I think it's a fun book. It's a fun series. They all have skills that you would imagine or want to have when you were a little kid. And I had 2 brothers growing up, and they always talked about being able to fly. And I like this book because these kids, they can fly, and they fly fast. So can you just imagine those great big wings coming out of someone who's 5'6", 5'9", 6 foot tall? I just think that's a really great start of a story. So thanks for listening to me. Come to the Farmington Public Library. Check out some books about Maximum Ride.